Greetings, people. Stream will be getting underway shortly, just doing the usual getting set up, getting the links, that sort of thing. Then we will be underway. So, yeah, here's hoping. If I can find the actual video on my own damn channel. Okay, now it's appearing on my YouTube channel. So we're getting closer. Good old YouTube. And with that button press, I think we are good to go. Alrighty. Must be done. There we go. Hey, how you going, everybody? It's me. Been a while. It's like, holy shit, didn't realise it's been 10 months since my last video. Seems like it gets longer and longer between doing these, so yeah, I thought I better get on and make a video. I mean, what's the point of having a YouTube channel if you never do content for a day? So what's the topic of today? Well, it's, yeah, all those times I'm always saying about how there are things going on or stuff's happening and I'll do an update video or I'll talk about it later, and I never do. So I thought, well, here's a good opportunity to do this and have a chat about why I'm not streaming as much as I used to or uploading content as much as I used to, where I'm at in life, how things are and stuff, and just, yeah, talk in general. I mean, feel free to jump on the voice chat and say g'day. Although I don't think I've actually got the chat showing at the moment, so I better fix that. If I can find out where the chat bit is. Hey. I don't want to see more of that. There we are. Show chat button right under the video, eh? It's a bit while. I've been a while. I've just quickly thrown this all together, as you can imagine. So lighting's going to look crap. There's a bit of lamp up there. I don't have my ring light and everything set up properly. So it's a combination of natural sunlight on this cloudy, overcast day and a lamp up there. And this room getting quite warm. Ooh, let's open up the window a bit more. So, yeah, how you all been? Hopefully this is all coming through just fine, but bear with me. Oh, well, there you go. That's number one of the things that that I'll address you is possibly one of the reasons I haven't been doing content as much, and is because of these. If, as many of you are aware, I used to have really fucked up teeth. A lot of them got pulled out, and I now have false teeth. Main issue being is sometimes I can wear these things all day long and be fine. Other times, my mouth wants to reject them and I end up gagging. And of course, while I can get away with recording and uploading content, doing a live stream, which is what I really prefer to do these days, just like this sort of ad-libbing shit, yeah, it's a bit hard when you've got to stop every 2 seconds during the live stream and go, oh, excuse me, or sit there and sort of go, whoop. Nobody wants to sit there and watch somebody dry reaching. So it'll be hit and miss, especially because having the teeth in or not changes how you pronounce things and such, and makes a difference. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, I don't have the bottom teeth in because that's almost impossible. The only time I can have both sets of teeth in is if I'm eating or drinking. But yeah, especially talking. If you sit there and don't talk, it's fine. Something I need to go back into the dentist with and see if we can get these modified as well, because they're not as big as my old teeth either. And it's funny because they must be at a different angle too, because they always catch on my bottom lip here like my original actual teeth never used to, despite them being bigger than these ones. And yeah, because I've already got sensory issues. And because that's another thing I don't know if I've touched on this channel, is, yeah, quite a few years ago now, I got diagnosed as being Asperger's, which some people consider a form of autism, which I do not, for a number of reasons I'm not going to get into here, but I was actually working on another channel that never happened to cover that. Because, yeah, I've got a couple of other channels for reasons. I was going to try something different to discuss things that aren't gaming related or technology related, like what this channel's all about. And so, yeah, that can be a struggle sometimes with how things go, because my personality doesn't always rub people the right way. I can be a bit too blunt and direct for some people, which a lot of people love when it's not aimed at them. So that can cause you issues as well, because I don't beat around the bush. I don't play these games. I don't do things that are illogical or don't make sense. Sort of thing. I can do because I'm still human. But yeah, a lot of stuff's gone on over the years. There's another thing I've hinted at that I said I was going to discuss, and that's to do with my overall general health. It's over a decade ago now, it's probably getting closer to 18 years now, but in my early 30s, I developed some sort of mystery disease. Well, illness, I don't know what you'd call it. No, excuse me. Yeah, but if you're watching this, I might have to pause from time to time due to the teeth, because like I said, sometimes, and it always seems to be when the days that I can wear them all day long without any issues are the days when I don't want to make a video. As soon as I want to make a video, all of a sudden it's like the teeth want to go, oh, not today. So you'll have to excuse me if I'm looking off to the side a bit, because I'm just keeping an eye on the stream on my second monitor there. Yeah. I'd have all my streaming stuff. That's probably how I should have done it. Put all the streaming stuff on this monitor and have this monitor over here for when I want to show the desktop off. Because, I mean, it's like, there. I've got it set for my desktop. Anyway. But yes, this mystery thing, medical thing that I've got with me, it's kind of crazy because for most intents and purposes, I look and sound fine. But the thing is, I've got a lot of mixture of things like numbness in my skin. Like a lot of times my face feels like, if you've ever had an anaesthetic at the dentist, and shoot you up with Novocaine or whatever it is that they inject you with, when that's starting to wear off and you've almost got sensation back, that sort of numb, tingling, pins and needles sort of feeling, that's like half my body and my face. My face feels like it's drooping. Which is kind of funny because I get these sort of well, they've been called seizures. Some people have referred to them as mini strokes. I don't know what the hell they are. And yeah, so life is physically a bit of a challenge many days now. Not helped as I'm getting older. But yeah, they can provide a challenge in life when you look relatively normal, but you walk normal. But it takes a lot of focus and concentration for me. I mean, a symptom of this is if you've ever watched any of my videos and you've noticed where I've mixed up a word or I've missed a word completely, because it'll be like that. I'll be talking and I swear I hear everything coming out just 100% normal. Then I play back the video and I'll be like, holy shit, I missed a word there, or I said something different to what I actually meant to say, or I changed the word completely. And that is part of it. It's like there's a bit of a disconnect sometimes with my brain and my mouth. And so I have to make a effort. I have to concentrate and focus more on things that should be autonomous. I mean, when this thing first kicked off, it actually started in my 2 fingers here on this hand. Started getting sort of like a tightness, pain, ache, numbness, mixture. Because it's not just like, it's like weird. The skin's numb, but my muscles are always extremely sore. But yeah, I'm one of these people where, I focus and I act normal, but let's not go off on tangents, because I do that a hell of a lot more now these days. Excuse me. I am smoking something I've never hidden, because I am one of these people. Always be yourself. Don't pretend to be something you're not. Don't be a fake ass mofo. Take people for who they are, and people should accept you for who you are. But maybe we'll discuss that too. But yeah, I mean, if I acted the way that I feel any given day, I'd be like, woe is me, misery. But I don't. I stand up, I walk tall, proud, straight, and I kind of have to, because, and I've got to concentrate when I walk and things, because if I don't, I sort of stagger like I'm drunk. So a lot of conscious effort going into things like this. It's because I at one point, to get back on the task of like how this thing happened, and I haven't been able to find any doctors that can help me, and I got frustrated, and I haven't seen any doctors for a while because I have had no treatment for this, because it's sort of like, because they don't know what it is, they won't officially diagnose it and they won't officially treat it, and it's kind of in my life has put me into a kind of a limbo. That I won't specifically get into examples there. But it started off in these 2 fingers here, a little finger and my ring finger on my left hand. And it was like that for a while. And then it spread up my arm to my elbow. And it was like that for a while. Doctors at the time thought I had a pinched nerve. And was like, oh, just give it a few weeks or a few months, see if it comes right on its own. And that was back when I lived in Tasmania. And then it got to the point where it got progressively worse in a matter of in a day. It sort of stopped for a while at my elbow, but then I was sitting at home one day at the computer and I could feel it spreading up my arm, through my shoulder, up my neck, up the side of my face, and then down, and it was like basically the whole left side of my body. And I actually lost control of my arm. I honestly couldn't move it very well. I could sort of lift it up, but everything was like floppy, and which is hard when you're a left-handed person. That you lose control of your left hand. So even I don't have my keys with me, but like if I was with my left hand held my door keys, and I went up to the lock and went like this to put the key in, the key wouldn't go in. It would just like, I started having to do everything with my right hand. And there's a lot of people probably unaware, I used to be a very artistic person, a lot of drawings, and I used to do graphic design and stuff for a living. And so when you can't use your primary hand that you use for drawing and stuff, it makes life, and especially work, difficult when your work and everything relies on having a left hand. And it just got sort of worse and worse, but, excuse me, I'm going to take these teeth out for a little bit because it's hit and miss. So you just have to put up with my beautiful, fangy smile. Now, that came with a whole host of challenges and stuff too, even when it comes to creating content, because there are times where, again, it's like there's mini sort of stroke things where I will be sitting there, and then all of a sudden, the only way I can describe it is like a crack comes up in your vision. And I thought I was crazy trying to explain this to people, but when I went and got my glasses about a year or so ago, I noticed on the wall of the optometrist, they actually had a picture. And in that picture, they had little squiggles and things that are exactly like this electric crack that I call it, that shows up in my vision. I was like, holy shit, I'm not crazy. But they could refer to them as a aurora blue migraine or something like that. But this thing goes in my vision. It's like little crack. It's weird. It's bizarre. I also got sort of like this constant static or snow like on a TV, and same thing. I thought it was crazy, but I've done my own research, and there are other people out there who experience this visual effect. It's like a barely there static on an old CRT TV screen or an analog television. It's enough there to notice it, but it doesn't really impact your vision. Anyway, this sort of crack thing, it expands over my vision, and when it does, when it reaches the edge of my vision, I get an incredible migraine that usually hangs around for a week. You take ibuprofen stuff, it does absolutely nothing. It just sort of takes the edge off, but it doesn't go away until about a week later when it goes away on its own. But while there's cracks there, and it's also like a camera flash going off in your eyes too, like somebody's walked up and got with a camera and flash, and you get that sort of after image effect. So I can look at things too, like, if there's a clock on the wall and I look at it for 2 seconds, normally if just see the experience I'm talking about, you go find something that's very solid, 2 different colors, black and white especially is good. You stare at the middle of it for like 60 seconds, then you look away and you'll see an after image of it. Well, I get that, but I only have to look at something for a split second, and then I look away and I got that after image. It's like my video system's got a bit of lag to it. Except, it's not a video system. It's all my organics. It's my body. It's me. And a whole bunch of weird shit like that. So, to start off with, first decade, I was going to see GP, so I wasn't getting answers. They were saying maybe it's multiple sclerosis. Maybe it's motor neurons even, which I wouldn't want. I think most people know that as ALS or whatever. That's basically your body ends up shutting down on you. You become a prisoner of your own body. And some other scary stuff. But I had CAT scans done, things like that. Saw a neurologist, and they did the usual things like with MS. They do CAT scans and stuff, MRIs or whatever. And they look for scarring on your spinal column and brain, I think it is. And I couldn't see any of that, so it was like, okay, thankfully it's not MS. Hopefully and thankfully it's not motor neurons disease, and the best I've ever been able to get out of them, despite no doctor actually testing for this, is a thing called fibromyalgia. And while it has similar symptoms and traits to some of the things with fibromyalgia, it doesn't 100% match that. And the doctors are basically, oh, well, we don't know what it is, shrugs, we give up. So they run out of ideas, so you do your own research and things, and they roll their eyes when you go to them and say, well, you don't know what it is, but what about this? What about that? Because, sort of I'm an intelligent guy. But unfortunately, all those people that out there do Dr. Google, the doctors roll their eyes, and I've got to go, look, I'm not Dr. Google. I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm not one of those people who's, I've got a migraine. I got on Google. Oh, my God, I got a brain tumour. Those sorts of people have ruined it for people like me that do have a bit of intelligence and know how to research. And most people who know me know that I'm no dummy, when it comes to, I guess, intelligence, so to speak, not necessarily street smarts. And it just gets harder and harder as time goes on. I'm constantly exhausted. Years ago, I got diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. Again, it's not treated. It's like, honestly, I feel like I'm living in some kind of bizarro world where it's different for me. I've had lifetime of insomnia on top of that. That's why the dark rings under my eyes and things. I just have issues my entire life with sleeping. And again, it's one of those things where it's kind of crazy, because I know a lot of people that have had sleep issues. They're like, oh, I haven't been able to sleep for the night. And doctor's like, here you go, here's sleeping tablets for the rest of your life. You don't go in and go, look, I've been sleeping like shit most of my life. I can stay awake for days at a time. I can't anymore because physical exhaustion now takes over. My brain is awake, but the body just can't keep up anymore, obviously, because I'm getting older and whatever. The shit in me is getting worse, not necessarily killing me. But it does when you feel like crap every day. When every day you wake up, you feel like you've been hit like by a bus. It can sort of drain your enthusiasm for doing things and finding joy in the world. But again, you act like this, you got to get up and, hey, everybody, how you going? My usual positive self sort of thing, because as a lot of people probably think I'm a very negative, angry person, where I'm not. But yeah, it makes it difficult to see the good in things and stuff. Makes you less sociable too. And if you like that, people don't want to be around you. So I try to walk normal. I walk nice and straight and tall and proud. And unfortunately, that sends people, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you look healthy and normal on the outside, people think you're putting it on. But then if you walk around, I'm dying, it goes the other extent. People, what a misery guts, don't want to be around them. There's sort of like seems to be no middle ground. And it's just, because humans are shallow and judgmental. They go by their own experiences and things. And the teeth here are a good example of that. The amount of comments I've had on videos where people haven't focused on the content of the video, they just point out my teeth. I'm okay with it, because you've got to be able to laugh at yourself. But that's the thing too. People are judgmental fucks. They will give, but they can't take. So if you give it back to them, they get upset. And yeah. So that's sort of where I've been at in my personal life. This lighting now, I'm starting to look like I'm going bright red. But I'm not. So anyway, that's the stuff that I keep alluding to health-wise. I can get into it more, go into it more. But again, unfortunately, humans don't want to hear it. There's a real set of rules for thee, not for me, for people out there. You learn these rules that it's like when people say, hello, how are you? They don't want to know how you are. All they want to hear is, good, thanks, you. But the same thing, I'm one of those people that if I ask how you are, I want to genuinely know how you are. I don't ask questions I don't want the answer to. And that's one of the things that made me Asperger's. And anything I'm talking about here, as always, I'm willing to discuss with anybody. Jump on Discord, leave a comment in the chat, leave a comment in the comments. I'm happy. My life is an open book. I'm happy to discuss anything and anything. Everything and anything. Yeah, you know what I mean? Hope you do, anyway, because it seems a lot of people don't. I quite often feel like I say the sky is blue and people get outraged that I'm saying the sky is red. An example I've probably used so many times with a lot of people. Who boy? It's getting warm in here. When it gets overcast and humidity kicks in, so it starts feeling warm, even though it's a miserable day outside. So, anyway, that covers the whole physical aspect of things. I've also had other personal issues going on, as a lot of people do. Let's leave that out for a bit. And yeah, same thing. Yeah, personal life, same sort of thing. I've become extremely estranged or alienated from a lot of my family, if not all of my family. It becomes the same way too with a lot of friends and things like that. So yeah, the old social life has been on the decline too. Yeah, that can be another topic for another day as well. Yeah, which is again, when you've got nobody in your life supporting you, encouraging you, and returning the deeds that you do, doing as you'd be done by, that too can make life be a bit of a challenge. And I've had that a lot of that in my life with people denigrating things I did. That's why it took so long to get into a lot of the stuff that I do, apart from my old IT career that I used to do. And you do get a lot of people telling you, because they don't understand or see the use of what you're doing, therefore you are doing nothing, that you're useless and crap. But as I tell everybody, you should encourage and support people. Doesn't matter if you don't agree with what they're doing or you don't like what they're doing. If you care for the person or you love the person, you support them. If what they are doing or what they desire, doesn't matter how useless you think it is, as long as it's not harming anybody, what's the problem? It was like this growing up. I had an aptitude for technology and computers and things like that, but I also had a father that was like, computers will take jobs, and saw them as a waste of time, and end of society kind of thing like that as we know it. So yeah, growing up, we weren't really encouraged or given the means and stuff. It's like you're definitely born in the wrong generation, stuff like that. Especially like with computers, if you had computer classes at school and stuff, you're getting taught by teachers that had no idea what they were doing with computers. Where now, the computers have been such commonplace, normal things that, of course, technology is all over schools and stuff. But yeah, that mixed in with a bit of Asperger's, that doesn't exactly help. Because I'm one of these people though that does need motivations. I can struggle with motivation. I can be a bit of a dreamer. I can have great ideas and big ideas and stuff, but then there's no drive to fulfill those. Like, I've got a hard drive full of videos that for reviews and things, like even this chair I'm sitting on here. When I bought it, I did an unboxing video. I did a review on it, but I never edited it together. I never uploaded it. And part of that is, you can get the defeatist attitude of what's the point when you put in effort and you get nothing back. And I've done a video before talking about how YouTube kept moving the goalposts. And again, back to that Bizarro World thing, that's how it feels, that you see something happen or a way certain things are done. You play by the rules, you learn the game, you get real good at the game, but then when it comes to you, the rules change, the goalposts get moved. And the people who do the scummy things or cheat the system are the ones who get ahead. But people like me that have the morals and stuff, you don't. So you just like, I started making money on this channel at one point. Around about the time I was doing star mode videos. If you go back and look how many views I've got on those. I started getting up to making money bits, and YouTube turned around and was like, oh, you've only got 200 subscribers. You need 1,000 subscribers to get your money. And I was like, wait, what? I'm getting tens of thousands of views, but you won't pay me because I don't have enough subscribers? What does the subscribers matter? And you can game the system. And I've discussed this before, that, a lot of people you see out there, they don't have as many subscribers or viewers as you see channels with several million subscribers, but they only have like 100,000 views. It's like, well, where are all these subscribers? Why aren't they watching? Because they bot them, they farm them. There are sites you can go to where you pay them and they get you subscribers. But to me, it's stupid, because subscribers don't equal views. And isn't it views that matter? Especially you think it would be for somebody like YouTube. Isn't it better that I have 200 people watching videos with an ad in it, for YouTube speaking, YouTube-wise, than having 100,000 subscribers and only having 5 views on a video? So it becomes a bit of a challenge. And I think there are people that are out there that, despite the way I ramble on and can go off on tangents and flow from one subject to another, that will understand or will relate to what I'm talking about here, and especially neurodiverse people. And that's one of the things is, again, that becomes a challenge, is support from others. We are human beings. We need socialization. We need support from other people. There are some things that you cannot do solo. Hey, look at sex. If you do not have somebody else to have sex with, it's called masturbation, sort of thing. You can't have sex unless you have somebody else there. And some things are like that. Like this other channel I've made called Out of Sync. I did a test run of it. I did like a 3-hour live stream test run. That's about the only video I made. The other video, I did make some other videos, but I ended up deleting those because, never upload videos when you're in a dark spot mentally. I was going through a period of depression. And I called out a lot of things in my past. It wasn't very good content. It was very dark content, but it was all based on reality. Everything I said in it was a fact. But I was like, yeah, this isn't doing you any favors. Let's delete these. But back to the point that it was one of those things where the channel was meant to be a podcast. I was part of a Asperger's community, a Discord server, and it was made. The guy who made it, Mark, designed it because we got tired of every single other Asperger's community. It felt like it was filled with autistic people. And again, people are going to go, wait, isn't Asperger's autism, high-functioning autism? And again, I'm going to say, like, the fibromyalgia and the motor neurons and the multiple sclerosis, you can have things that have overlapping traits, shared traits, but they are not the same thing. People focus on the similarities instead of the differences. And so we all got lumped into the same basket, and I've met a lot of people that are Asperger's that feel the same way. I'm just more vocal about it. Unfortunately, though, that channel, that community ended up becoming kind of the same thing, a bit of an echo chamber, and I started getting frustrated because it became more and more like the autistic ones, where people don't take responsibility for themselves. Everything's everybody else's fault. And when you start treating people the way that they treat everybody else, the subtlety, the irony, and the hypocrisy is lost on them. The point you're making is lost on them because people rarely see in themselves what they see in others. Even though they see in others what they don't see in themselves, even though they're doing it themselves. My joys are not scripting and just doing this thing ad lib. And hell, I don't even know, not even sure what the point is. But yeah, that was the point. The podcast is the 3-hour test podcast I did. About the first half hour or hour of it. I'm doing it by myself because it was just literally a technical test, making sure everything was set up, running properly. You can look up the channel, out of sync. I made that video public. It's only video on that channel, and that is public. And my good friend Helix, who's appeared in videos with me and who I've mentioned plenty of other times. When I say videos, it's usually like doing live streams of games or things. He joined the stream. We loaded up his webcam. He's using an avatar, and it worked much better because, bouncing off other people. It's a bit different having a podcast where you like now, where I'm just talking by myself, rambling on. Nobody there to direct me as such or to contribute to the conversation. So you're getting a very one-sided thing. But with Helix on board, the podcast, that test run, that video went great. I'll bring up a lot of the things about autism and neurodiverse and just humans in general and how human behaviour, making some very factual observations about humanity. And it went well. The people we showed the video to, we got positive feedback. And the thing is, why I mentioned that Asperger's community is I understood the podcast was something I could not do on my own. I needed other people. I wanted to talk to other people, get their points of views on topics, to discuss their lives and how they see the world and things, instead of it just being, here is Rabid's point of view, the end. And to also sort of educate people that, not all autistic people are the same, that we're all different, and why neurodiverse things are called a spectrum. Because a lot of people hear things like, there's another reason why a lot of us Aspies want to steer away from autism, is because a lot of people hear autism and they imagine Dustin Hoffman in Rain Man. And sitting there, I want to fight Qantas. I want to fight Qantas. Where quite clearly, I am so far removed from something like that. But yeah, it was really good, and I had all these people that were like, oh, yeah, we're going to, and I've gone through this. I've had so many ideas and plans, things I want to do. I've spent a lifetime helping other people change their goals, because that's been a problem with me too, being a people pleaser. And you need help, you ask for help, and people don't Yeah, but they say they will, but then they don't. And that's what it was like in this group. I had a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, I like the idea of this podcast. Oh, yeah, pieces of people from all around. We've got people from Canada, England, Australia, the US, a few other European countries and things. And this happened with Unbreakable Gamers as well. When I originally did Unbreakable Gamers, that was meant to be this was meant to be a community thing. It wasn't just one guy sitting here on YouTube spinning his bullshit. I had built an entire website, forums. We were going to be doing video reviews. I had it all set up. I spent weeks writing up the rules on like people that wanted to be journalists. Like, here is how you submit your review and images and things. I had a site set up so anybody that was authorised as a writer could upload their content, and then I would review it and hit publish. And I had so many people on board for this. And when it came to launch Unbreakable Gamers, everybody was like, oh, sorry, I'm washing my hair that day. I was sort of joking around. I got a bunch of excuses. There was only one person who wanted to help, and I appreciated his efforts and stuff. But the stuff he was roasting was basically, he was getting articles from elsewhere and basically rewording them. And he was actual journalism student going to university at the time. And I would have to, and I mean, the spelling and grammar and punctuation was terrible. It was like primary school level. And I'm like, wait, how are you university? But I appreciated it. So I took a little bit of extra time to spell check everything for him and stuff. Even when I suggested to him, hey, you heard of this thing called spell check? Maybe install it into your word processor software. But I appreciated his help. But yeah, it didn't end up taking off. So I ended up just going, well, this is a solo mission, let's do it. And it was the same with this other channel. I had these people where it wasn't just going to be me. I was going to give them authorizations and stuff so that they could do their own streams, and we're going to be consistent, do it proper, like a proper YouTube channel with, you'd have an episode coming out the same time every week and different subjects. We'd pick a subject during the week, and we even had a channel dedicated to on this Discord, and I just couldn't get people. The people were all, yeah, we're for it. And I'm like, a year later going, guys, done test run, everything is set up. I need you guys to pull your finger out, that want to do this, and come and do some videos with me and do some more test runs to make sure that, them being on the other side of the world and things like that, like when Helix came and did the test run with me, that shit works, that they know what they're doing so they can get some practice in, because none of them have done this stuff like before, where I've been doing this for years. I'm a confident speaker. A lot of these people that are Aspie and stuff can be very shy and withdrawn, and not, you don't have to be Aspie. Some people are just not confident public speakers. They don't have an ego as big as mine. Because trust me, if you think something about me, I've already thought about it myself. Yes, I have a God complex. Yes, I have a massive ego. Yes, I'm very outspoken. You ain't telling me nothing I don't know. Yes, my teeth are fucked up. I'm one of these people who's more self-aware about myself than you will ever be. I'm more aware of my flaws and my faults, and I will admit to them. It's so funny watching people trying to point shit out online, trying to get me angry over stuff where I'm like, dude, I laugh at myself. I point this stuff out to myself. You think I'm going to give a shit some rando, stranger points it out? But anyway, yeah. So I spend a lot of time and energy over the years on these projects that basically should be successful. But it always fucks up because the other people that you need bail on you. They don't contribute. They promise and stuff, and you rely on that, where it's like, okay, to make this work, I've got these 10 people on board. I'll definitely make it work, because I'd make it work with just one extra person, but I can't do it solo. This is different. Because Unbreakable Gamers has become basically my own personal blog journal, the place I just do whatever the hell I feel like. And basically that's part of being unbreakable, is I'm unbreakable because I don't let anything stop me. Even when I'm like, oh God, I'm so sick of this shit, I want to kill somebody, I smile and I soldier it on. That's why we're unbreakable. This is why it's like, you don't go, fuck, all the games today suck, I quit. Because it is. It is like that. We'll get to that too. I've got a good example actually with Linus Tech Tips recently, which made me laugh, and it just shows like what I call that normie attitude and mentality. But yeah, so I have over the years started losing my passion for things. I'm finding it difficult. I'm not broken, but as such, but it is difficult for me to find joy in things anymore. You start getting a bit of a defeatist attitude of, well, what's the point if this is going to go nowhere? You know, what's the point of me spending hundreds of hours a week making content if I'm not going to get rewarded for it? What's the point of spending months and months like the other channel? The other video was a couple of years ago. It was during COVID, I think, that we did it. Hang on, I can actually bring this channel up. Let's bring up the old blank Edge browser. See if we can find it. YouTube. Yeah, I don't use Edge. This is literally my blank streaming one, like Chrome used to be. I think it was. Channels, because it's probably not going to show. Because we've only got one video on there. Channel. There we go. Oh, actually showed up. Yeah, so we have 6 subscribers. Let's put wrong one. I have like 6 subscribers. Wait, this doesn't have any content? No, see, it does. This is what I hate. See, when you do live streams like this video here that I'm doing right now, it comes under live. It doesn't go onto your home tab. I think you've got to download it and then re-upload it to show it on your bloody homepage. And a lot of people won't click the live button. That's probably why a lot of people say, like and subscribe, click the bell so you get notifications. But yeah, so you've only got 32 views. Yeah, 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And my concept of time has been screwed up for a long time. Time doesn't exist for me, like for most people. And I think a lot of people during COVID have learned how time feels. But yeah, this is what the channel is about. It's meant to be doing it, but out of those 32 views, because it was set to private, I've now made it public and haven't really advertised it. So yeah, if you're watching this, feel free to go check out that channel. Watch that video. Leave some feedback for me, what you think. It's not politically correct. That's the one thing. This is the video where, this is the channel where I have 0 fucks to give about offending people. I speak what I consider to be reality. And that's why it's like called Out of Sync, Life in a Fractured Reality, because it does feel like you're living out of sync with everybody else some days. Well, most days for me. Things don't work the way they work. And yes, I've spoken to psychologists and things in the past, and they agree with a lot of my views on the world, but they tell you got to put on a mask and pretend to be something you're not to keep all the dummies happy, all the people that are basically NPCs. People think that's an insult, but it is true. The majority of people on this planet are running on scripts. They're following routines. Another reason why, as well, I'm not Aspie. I mean, I'm not autistic. I'm Aspie because autistics like routine. They like things being the same over and over and over again. They don't like change. Change freaks them the fuck out and gives them a meltdown. Where I am the opposite. I'm constantly needing new stimulation. I'm constantly need new experiences. I hate doing the same thing day in, day out, day in, day out. So it can be very difficult to continue with projects and things you're doing when it's always the same. But yeah, that's the channel we were working on. Go watch that video there. This is a test, sort of. I don't know if this will pick it up, but yeah, we'll play a bit for you.
Greetings. How you going there?
Oh, wait. I forgot. Sorry. It will help if I actually bring up. Yeah. Hang on a second. There we go. Here's what I've just been talking about for the last 10 minutes. This is the channel. Okay. That I'm talking about. Let's go back to the main one. And this is what I was talking about with there's no videos on the home page. I only show up on live page and got the one video. I did have other videos, but like I said, they were extremely dark. I was in a very dark place. So I've got rid of those videos because, yeah, I was talking about some horrible shit about real people that I've experienced in my life. And it's sort of stuff where people should have gone to jail over it, and they're still walking around today. And you know that now we're all growing up and adults and things, that they'll be like forgotten about it. But yeah, that's not what we're here for. So yeah, I was actually making an effort. I've done a lot of channel art and things for it there.
Just give us a few seconds, and we shall get things underway.
And yeah, it's going to be a bit tongue-in-cheek and stuff. Did the weather, but this was like a technical test run. Like we've got, I was going to be like start off with every video where you've got sponsors and things where people are like, this ad brought to you, this show brought to you by NordVPN and bullshit. And here's the thing, people, a lot of these sponsors you see are not sponsors. The companies do not approach YouTubers. A good example is Grade A Under A, who's now come back after a few years. I call it I need cash content. And I'm seeing more and more YouTubers doing this, where they upload like a quick short video, and 2/3 of it is an ad for NordVPN. And people on Grade A Under A's return videos are like, oh my God, it's so good that he's back, and that he's got a sponsor. That shows how amazing he is. It's like, no. It's like called an affiliation thing. Anybody can do this, even with Amazon. I can go say, this video is sponsored by Amazon, but you go sign up for it. They don't approach you. You go get an affiliate link with a code or whatever in there, and anybody who uses that link, you get kickbacks. You are not actually sponsored. It's not like a company coming up to you. Like, it's not like Nissan automobiles come up to me and go, hey, Rabid, I want you to promote Nissan motor cars and shit. Here's $10,000. You know? A lot of these are like that HelloFresh and stuff, and that's why you will see a whole bunch of YouTubers start advertising the same shit, because one person will go, oh, HelloFresh, blah, 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 sponsoring this video. So everybody else is like, oh, shit, HelloFresh is where it's at, let's go do it. Where I can't do that, because I'd be like, I've used HelloFresh, and I'd be like, HelloFresh, stay the fuck away from them, because all their vegetables are rotten. That has been my experience with a lot of those food delivery companies. Gave a few of them a shot, and they were all shit. So you got these people doing sponsors shelling shit that they do not use themselves. And it's quite clearly they have not used them themselves, because they do see nothing but praises for them. Another one too is like Better Health. I've not used Better Health. I have not looked into them too much, but a lot of YouTubers promote Better Health. And I've heard rumours, so I'm not saying this is for sure, that they're not a very good company. And if you watch a lot of these YouTubers, they all follow the same script. They're all like, life was depressing with 1 million viewers and $100,000 to several $1 million in my bank account. But I went to Better Health, and now I'm feeling... And it's almost word for word the same scripts. And you see this a lot on YouTube. You see this in gaming. You see this in everything. One person comes up with a good thing, and everybody's got to do it. And stuff. It's like, yeah, some people might be amazed at some of the things I've done in my time. But yeah, that's the video. This is the channel. But yeah, I was going to do these commercials. Let me see in the thumbnail here. We're looking for a slice of bread. I've seen it. There we go. This is an example of the...
Not like a lot I can do at the moment. It's just sort of like, I've already got... I can do some artwork and stuff like that. There's my bread ad. Because, I would like to have a novel sort of advertising thing at the start.
This explains what I'm doing
here.
I think.
You put that out of sync banner behind you. I probably could, actually. You'll still get the weird things. And hello, Marcus.
Yeah, I had it set up to live stream music and stuff in the background. Everything. I was doing everything properly.
Yeah, oops, wrong.
All right.
Let's see.
I'll see if I can find it again. That's where Helix has joined.
Sort of new to using Zoom.
So yeah, this will give you an idea. It was private. These people have got a direct link sent to them.
Characters are like, hey man, I'm half asleep or I've smoked too much weed.
I don't know what mine's doing.
He's flirting with me.
So that was something there that took up a lot of my time. Oh, here we go. I think this might be where I do the actual proper bread ad.
Is it brought to you by pens?
Problem with 3-hour videos,
when
it's
you don't
difficult
have
to line everything up.
Well,
no, I joined it 7 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, all right. So you do something like, this episode brought to you by bread. Bread. You can't fucking make toast without it.
And that was it. That's basically, that there is basically, oh, we're getting very dark now. I've got to do something about this lighting. Okay, just give me a second. Because you don't need to see my fat ass standing up in front of the camera. Oops, I had a lamp and I just put it into the ceiling fan. Awesome. It's just, oh, it's still working. It's just flickering a bit now. Oh, there we go. Well, that's. Just bear with me. We have been experiencing technical difficulties. Oh, God. Who knows? People probably not even going to watch this. Now, that made things worse, even though I brought a light over. All right. I hate this because I get it. Because I don't always be able to turn on the main light. Yes, that's my fat ass. Well, that really fucked things. Yeah, so up on my shelf, I've got a lamp. I had the lamp on, and the ceiling fan is right there. And as I took the lamp off, the ceiling, I pulled it up into the ceiling fan, and it decapitated my lamp, which is still working, but its head's no longer connected to its neck. Oops. But yeah, that was sort of what the podcast, and I still want to do it. But I need a offsider. I need a straight guy or somebody that I can talk to, interact with, bounce off. And I had people that were going to be guests, were going to come and co-host, and it just, everybody had excuses when you were like, hey, I want to do this thing, I want to get it going long enough. When are you people available for this? And they're like, oh, when are you available for it? And I'd be like, well, okay, I'm available anytime. With people being around the world, it helps that you're on time zones. You get the times lined up that suits everybody. You find a middle ground that works. So yeah, I said to people, it was like, I can do this podcast. Okay, Friday to Sunday. Let's go Friday to Sunday, Australian time, any time in that time. If it's 3:00 in the morning in Canada, in my time, but that means that somebody in Canada can be on at a time that suits them. I can do that. I'm flexible. So I said that. So I said, okay, people, give me the times you can do it. And they wouldn't give me bloody times that they were available. I'm showing enthusiasm and stuff for it. So again, long story short, it just basically ended up going nowhere. Despite having basically, a good, well, from the feedback I got, I was getting good feedback on the content. And anyway, go watch that video yourself. Use the timeline down the bottom, and probably best place to go is when you actually see Helix's avatar show up. I think we were funny as hell. And yes, I do think I'm funny because I know I'm funny because I make people laugh. Life's too short to be a misery guts, but yeah, it can be difficult to be not being a misery guts. So anyway, that's a lot of the stuff that I hint towards where I'm like, oh, I'll talk about this later, about things going on with health and other bullshit and stuff. So, yeah, but it does kill your desire to do things when it feels like you can't get a foothold. And it can sound like excuses or a loser attitude, but hey, here I am. I'm still going. I have not given up. Another thing that's been taking up a lot of time is, excuse the mess because I've now got the 3D printer over there, that thing, my Ender 3 Max. Should have done a review video of it, but I've taken up with 3D printing stuff. So this is a test print for a project I'm doing at the moment. It's a bit of a polygon, but I've been working on it, getting it the printer set up for almost 2 years now to print perfectly. It's normally, that's what the big black box here behind me is. That's actually the enclosure for the printer. So things are a bit messy at the moment because I've been installing new parts on the printer to get it printing as good as possible, because I'm doing a project at the moment where I'm basically, it's going to take, a single piece can take days at a time, but I'm literally making myself a Mark V Mjolnir armor from Halo Combat Evolved, or a variation of it, a version of it. I'm using a whole bunch of parts and stuff like that. Let me just bring up my one of my project folders for it, and I can give you a look-see. Yeah, got temp folder. You're going to see personal files. Shouldn't be anything too naughty or nasty. But yeah, this is my originally. This is the original files I was working on. I'm basically onto the third version of the suit now, where the original version I had literally ripped the original Halo Master Chief model in all its low poly goodness, and was going to be making an authentic version of that. You can see here, like a model where I'm modeling the helmet and slicing it all up. But then I got this one from Etsy. Oops, no, that's the repaired files. Where is it? Yeah, here, a custom suit. Gizmo kindly bought for me. See if we get this photo up. Yeah, pretty detailed, ready to go 3D print model. That I can do up. The helmet was separate, but I didn't like the helmet. But I liked how tanky this one looked. So just one moment. And like, here was a test piece, but see, that screwed up. That didn't finish. So that's another reason I was having issues with the printer. But yeah, that's a forearm piece. Although it's a little bit too big, but even though I printed it up a bit too big, a couple of centimetres, that's probably Master Chief actual size. I'm a little bit shorter than the guy. I have to do modifications, because even though I don't know how this works, because it's a solid piece, it's not two pieces you've got to put together or multiple pieces. But I've had to trim it, because if I made this just at this size, I can get my hand through there, but I had to trim that off for my hand to fit. I could not get my hand through to fit at that size. If I scaled it down to my size, it's even smaller. So it's like, who's this made to fit? But anyway, I'm now up to where I am doing this here. Let me find Blender. You can see. Oh no, not showing the desktop. Where I've got a model of the Mark V from Halo Infinite now. And so it's a combination of this, because I really like this as a modern update. The thing I don't like is the chest torso piece. So I'm going to be doing a mixture of, here's the suit, because I might have had the webcam up. I wasn't sure if I had the webcam up or not when I showed this, but yeah, here's the suit that Gizmo bought me. This thing here too came with a whole ton of errors, but thankfully the guy Industries up there, Adam, who made this suit, he worked with me to fix a lot of the errors. There was things like bits that slot into pieces, and there's no hole for the slot to go in. So if you printed it, it'd be literally, you couldn't put it together. And everybody was like thankful, because apparently a few people bought this suit and nobody noticed the errors or pointed it out. I don't think anybody's actually printed it who bought it. But I'll be taking the torso or the chest piece from this one, and I'll probably be using the arms and legs from this one, but that involves having to actually make them to begin with, because I've got so many different versions and models of the Mark V. It's like nobody's done a proper Mark V model, so I've got to do it myself. So I've got so many images and stuff, so I can do it. Yeah, that was another 20th anniversary version of it. That was also, pretty good, but a bit too slim and trim. I think Master Chief should look a bit tanky, especially if you look at like the original Mark V design. He's not slim and trim. Originally, when this design was made, he was meant to be like an 8-foot cyborg. So that's what I'm. My current focus is on these 3D printing projects. I want to get a full suit going, and I'm thinking about documenting it once I start getting to the actual printing portion of it, which hopefully is sooner than later. But I've worked out for a lot of the main pieces of it, I'm looking at a couple of months non-stop printing, like literally 24-hour days. It adds up to like 64, and that's just for like arms, legs, forearms, and that's before the modelling of slicing everything up, detailing it, and things. Yeah, here's some of the current ones. Avatar for Armour Smith. But yeah, here's where I'm at the moment, working on mostly the helmet in here. This is it sliced down. And I've got to add some detailing to it because, as you can see, it's very polygony. But I've already hollowed it out, extruded it. It's got some thickness. I do have, let me find it. I use various different programs for various different reasons. Let's see if I can find the, skip files, because it's low poly, I can get away with using SketchUp for this. But yeah, here's the helmet file. See, I've got so many files. And yeah, here's what I've got so far for the helmet and what I've done. Because a lot of people use magnets and sort of snap everything together, where I'm trying to make this a bit more authentic. So yeah, there's the helmet. It's sliced in half so that I can work on one half. And then just because it's symmetrical, I can then just copy that half and move it over, because it's just stupid trying to design something on this side and then having to recreate it manually on that side. So you just work on one side, copy and paste. Except for bits like this because it's already done, if you're wondering why that. So yeah, you can hide that. Right, that to show you how it breaks down. The visor comes in the front here, and then that bit I just hid goes in on top and screws in, because it's going to be bolted together with like M3, M4 nuts and screws, hex ones. And I'm working on making it so everything whatever I did then, did not want to do that. I want to make it so everything disassembles right down to base components. Like this. But not only that, because here, I've got to modify that. So I've got a fan in the back here, because I'm going to have cooling. I'm going to have a fan hooked up, a blower fan on one of these sides here near the visor. So it blows air across the visor to keep the visor unfogged. I'm actually going to be using a motorcycle visor too. It should fit well with this one, because the original Halo Mark V armor didn't have any grooves or other weird shit on it. It was just a golden visor like you'd see on a spacesuit. And so, yeah, nobody ever seems to make them sort of authentic. Same here. I've got actual flashlights that'll go in here. I'm going to wire them up. So, yeah, you can see there's a cover. I've done the housing in there. Then you get rid of the main helmet. And, yeah, there's the back plate. And as you can see, it's actually connected to this bit here. But, yeah, I might change that to make it 2 pieces. But, yeah, it's going to be a fairly solid helmet when it's finished. So, yeah, that's one of the things that has also been keeping me away, because, yeah, I did the video where I'm doing the game development stuff. Bear with me being a bit darker here. As I said, my light committed suicide, and the ceiling light is behind me. God, I hate this house and the room layout. So, yeah, that's part of what I'm doing. It has been taking up a fair bit of time. And it's annoying because, yeah, I have been buying new technology. But I haven't been doing reviews. I might have to do a review of this. I bought an actual stylus drawing tablet. Oh, God, that's a bit dark, being black in low lighting. But, yeah, got a tablet to help with my work and stuff. But I thought, it's probably sort of thing I should be doing a review of on this channel. It's an XP Pen Deco Mini 7. If you need a drawing tablet or you've not used a drawing tablet before, good value for money. It was like $40 when I got it. Unfortunately, the wireless one's like twice the price. Would have got one of them. But it's pretty good too because I can plug it into Android devices or anything with USB and it works. Helped me with some issues I'm having with my car's Android system where the touch screen's a bit screwy. So I was like, yeah, plug that in and I can use the stylus to operate and select settings and things that I currently am unable to tap on the screen. So yeah, a lot of testing and stuff. Like I've been doing things like, part of the tweaking the printer is doing these testing towers, and it's a bit hard because the speed when you crank up the speed and the temperatures, the prints turn out good. All the layers look the same. So it's like, oh, okay, what does that tell me? But then again, these tests, they don't seem to work the same when it comes to actual practical application of it. Yeah, smart. Brought water with me. But yeah, I have been buying things like this, like it's some body armor. I've been buying from AliExpress, taking a chance. And what's funny is this is actually a leg guard, but it actually fits my arm better. The arm pieces are small, and you got to be careful too because you buy stuff online and you follow the size guides. Like I bought sort of like a back brace harness thing that I was going to use to mount the chest piece on, as well as maybe see if it'll do some support in my back. And I ordered like a 3XL because I'm a big guy, according to their size charts. I got it here and it fits gizmo. It doesn't even come remotely close to fitting me, but thankfully, they gave me a and you might have seen these around, these motorcycle jackets. Because it's like, oh yeah, look at that armored plating on the back. That'll look sick. So this is what I'm doing now is I've got this sort of stuff, this armored motorcycle jacket, they call it. I would not wear this on a motorbike. I mean, look how sort of soft and flexible that is. I mean, what do you expect for $50, eh? You get so many of these people on there. And it sort of fits, but there's a couple of bits because this is a 5XL. So I went really big. It fits, but then we've got these straps that sort of go under the armpits here around the chest, and they're too small. They're too tight. It's like they just took the ones off the smaller ones. So I've got to work out how to modify this, but the thing is I'm going to be doing it so, like, suit bicep will clip onto this, and it'll hold everything into place. Ensure I've got a gap between the shell and my body. Probably have to remove it because it's got this netting and it's got a lot of holes. It's very holey netting. But despite the holes in it, my God, you get so hot when you put this on. And that's the other thing I've got to think about is cooling the suit. Because I'm not just sort of making a suit. It's a costume. I want to make this as functional as possible. I have a goal of one day actually making a version of this suit where it is water cooled. It is, basically like atmosphere controls. I'm working on some things where, I'm going to have a phone built in here. So I've got GPS, Google Maps or whatever, as well as some buttons here so I can like turn on lights, fans and everything instead of having to, press a button, turn the fans on in my helmet and then put it on. I should be able to control fan speeds, things like that while I'm wearing the suit because, you want fans going full rip. Going to be fans in the... I bought these here off Amazon up here. They're a cheap brand of sort of PC style cooling fans, but they're very cheap, but they're very, very good. I've been using the RGB ones and mine Gizmo's one for a while, which you would know if I had bothered to upload the review video I made about them a couple of years ago. But yeah, so you've got these. I've got these USB fans. I've got a 3-speed fan controller on them. And I'm doing this where I'm going to have everything hooked up to USB cable so I can just put some power bricks in the back of the suit. So hang on a second again. So yeah, here. That backpack there, I'll have battery bricks in there. And then the shoulder pieces, even though I'm going to be using that other model that Gizmo bought me. I'll be having... Up in the shoulder pieces here, not the shoulder pieces, these back bits, the vents on the back. Not a lot of people think they're rocket packs, but they're not. They're actually heat exhaust because if you see every time they're flying around in the game, they actually have a rocket pack bolted on to that. But yeah, I'll be having fans like this on each shoulder in the vent. It'll draw in air from down the front, up or across my body and out the back. So it'll help me remain cool, as well as at some point in the future, I want to actually add a liquid cooling system to it. It should be easy to do, where I literally have tubing running through the whole suit, arms, legs, chest, and put some sort of a speed control or something so I can pump out, and I'll have something like a camel pack, that you drink from. I'll have two of them also in the backpack part of the suit. One for being able to drink, so I don't have to take my helmet off every time I need to hydrate. And another one will be literally a tank for cooling. It'll be filled up with ice water. It's like amazingly, my power brick, full charge of my normal small power brick. I love the power brick. Should have done a review of that one too. Power bank. Gizmo's got it at the moment. I'm going to be buying some more of them. But fully charged, 4 lights. I had both of these fans on, hooked up to a full rip, and after 4 hours, it was still on 4 lights. So I will be able to get a whole day of walking around a Comic-Con type setup or local convention. And these fans will run all day long. The same as it's going to be fully, all these LED lights. And the same with the headlamps, like these ones on the helmet here, that I showed in that model where I've got the mountings. Here are the type of flashlight I'm using. They're aluminium LED, and they are very, very bright. They're not going to do just little decorative glowing. When I turn these things on and you got 4 of them, they're going to blind you. I'm going to be able to walk around this thing at the streets at night and see exactly where I'm going. So, that unfortunately has taken away a lot from other stuff I'm doing. That's the problem. It's almost like not enough lifetime. Too many things I want to get done. I want to do streaming podcasts. I want to do the 3D printing. I want to do the game development. But at the same time, it takes time. And also you need to be able to finance these things too. So I'm probably going to be doing I'll start documenting and doing streams of me doing my modeling and stuff like that. I've got so much royalty music, so we can play that in the background. Bring you along on the journey. With me, see how it's all done. Be something a bit different than the usual stuff you see on this on YouTube when it comes to this stuff, where a lot of people are like, real Master Chief, or real Halo Spartan, a real video game this, video game that. And then they just basically just make a costume out of foam and paint it up. And it's like, no, I want to make a real Spartan costume. Helps that I'm close enough, because I've shrunk over the years. I used to be 6'9", and I keep retconning how tall Master Chief is. I've noticed he used to be 8 foot, then he was 7 foot. This is in the armor. Then he was 7'2", and the same with the height. At one point he was like 6'9", now he's 6'10", and I used to be 6'9", but as you get older, you lose height. I'm probably about 6'6" now, which surprised me because last time I checked I was like 6'7". Same thing. My back lately has been playing up, and I think I've actually lost another disc. I wouldn't be surprised if I've got 3 discs less in my back than I did years ago. But that's what's been going on. This is why the content isn't as regular as it used to be, and I used to be sporadic at the best of times. Same thing. It's been a while. I mean, it can't be been 10 months, like I said, since the last video, because I'm pretty sure I uploaded the security camera videos. And again, I haven't followed up, so I get distracted. This is where I know how to YouTube, I know how to game the system, but I'm a solo person. I need almost like a personal assistant, people to work with to help keep me focused and on track. I get very easily distracted. I get very lost in thoughts. I'm a big daydreamer. And that's not there. So doing it solo at the moment, and with how everything I've been talking about, this is where I'm at. This is how I am. But I am hoping to rectify that. But the same with the game design. That's sort of on hold. I really, really want to make this game. But again, there's only so much I can do as a single person. And again, no offense to a person who's watching this, it is, again, when you're expecting multiple people to be working on a project and you can't get those people helping to come and help, you get a bit frustrated and you just drop these things. So as time goes on, I focus more and more on what can I do on myself, what can I do that doesn't rely on other people. And I hate being that because I'm a people person. I like working with people, I like helping others. But comes a time in your life where you've got to focus on yourself, especially when after 49 years, you've got to focus on yourself and what you want and desire. And unfortunately, it's just unfortunate that the people I've helped chase and pursue their dreams and get their goals in life and then supported in their endeavours can't return the favour. But I don't hold it against them. I understand how people is, but a lot of people will watch a video like this and think, he's having a go at me. He's having a dig. Where it's not like that at all. You know. But that's the thing, people don't ask for clarification. They just make assumptions based on what you say. Like I said, you say the sky is blue, and people will hear you saying the sky is red. It's like, do I speak Chinese? I think, or maybe I need to learn Chinese or Japanese or something, because I think if I spoke a foreign language, people would actually hear English. But I speak English, and they hear something other than English. It's weird. Yeah. The printer I've got as well is an Ender 3 Max. This is why I've had to work on the printer, because there's things like, I go to print this very detailed version of miniature of the model, 30 centimeters tall. And again, like the forearm, that's screwed up. If you look closely, you can sort of see issues with the flow there on the infill. I think that was the filament, bit of humidity been sitting on the printer spool for a while. But I've got, quite a few rolls of filament still in the package and all sealed up and vacuum sealed and dried and everything properly. So yeah, let me know if you get made it this far and you're watching. Would you be interested in content like that? Oh, hello! I didn't realise there was somebody in the chat. I didn't have the chat scroll down far enough for that. Bro, it's 3 a.m. Unfortunately, no, it's 6:09 p.m. where I am. I'm in Australia on the eastern coast, so that's sort of the time frames that matter for me. I used to care if it was 3 a.m. for people when I was doing that other podcast I was talking about. The solution to stay up late is I have been spending a whole lifetime of staying up late, right? But yeah, thank you for watching anyway, Eli Bonham. If I know you, unfortunately, I don't recognise the name. And most people that are aware of this channel or that I've got this stream going are either on my Facebook, my Discord, the only two places I've shared a link for this video. Oh yeah, maybe somebody did turn on notifications. Unfortunately, sorry Eli, it doesn't tell me at what time you sent those messages, so I don't know how long ago that was. But yeah, this is another issue when it comes to doing stuff online, isn't it? It's like Reddit. You say things on Reddit and everybody assumes everybody's talking about the United States. And I get the same too, where I've had people, I'm Australian. I think it's quite clear I'm Australian. But you get a lot of people come along and tell me they love my American accent. Brits will say, oh, I love your American accent. And Americans will go, I love your British accent. It's like, but I'm neither. Thank you for paying attention. So yeah, the solution to stay up late is it's not. I'll give an example here. Probably won't say this, but I basically had a business partner called Ben. I'm located in Australia. He's located in the US. And that's how basically I got into the website design stuff when I was doing it. Is he wanted to do website hosting. He wanted to be a rap musician and things like this. And I helped him as best as I could with all that sort of stuff. And again, we had these projects and they never went anywhere because we'd get almost ready to launch and he'd go get a real life job. And I'm like, bro, this is my real life job, because he'd just vanish on me for times and I put up with it. But there's also that thing too, where I was always the one staying up till 3 a.m. I was the one staying up all night for these people in other countries. They don't do the same back. They don't make the effort. They'll usually be like, oh, it's 12 o'clock here, I'm going to bed sort of thing, where it's like, but they'll happily expect me to sit up till 12 o'clock or till 8 o'clock in the morning to help them with their stuff. That's sort of the point I'm getting at. You know, get to that age where now it's like, hey man, you hear about this thing called karma, and you know what goes around comes around and stuff, and it's a load of shit. It's in theory how it should work, but if you help others, people just take it. You know, that whole, you know, you give an inch, people take a mile. So you've got to get to that point where it's nice if people say, "Oh, I'm going to help you with this or do that," but I don't rely on that anymore. I don't take that as in I've got this person to help with. Where if I tell you I'm going to help you with something, I will help you with something. If I commit to people, and if I can't commit, I let people know. I don't just vanish and don't let people know, because that's another problem too. When you're working on projects with people that should be making everybody bank, and you just get ghosted for days on end. And it happens like that socially too. Again, as I said at the start of the video, being estranged from people, especially family. And it's because you put your foot down and say, no, this has got to be a two-way street. It can't be just me give, and the only time I hear or see you is when you need something from me, when you need to talk about your problems, or you need a solution or help. You want to move house, you want to do this, you want to whatever. You need somebody else, you come to me because you know I will help. But then when it comes time to return the favour, it don't happen. Anyway, it seems like Eli's gone because he's up at 3 a.m. where he should be in bed. And to make it clear, anybody who's watching this video, if I haven't specifically mentioned you by name, don't take offence at this, and understand I'm just being straightforward and honest, as I always am. Isn't that what you people... Yeah, I've got to I'll just leave them out. And isn't that what people sort of say and do and expect that, you know, you get what you give and you give what you get, that sort of thing. You know, it's the right thing to help other people, not be selfish. But the reality of it is most people aren't very empathetic. They cannot put themselves into other shoes. They only see it from their point of view. And if they can't see that what they're doing is wrong, they're going to feel attacked if other people point it out too. But it's funny because those same people will then turn around and will actually get hostile because they feel attacked and start pointing out your flaws and stuff. And yeah, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. So at the end of the day, unfortunately, the only person you can rely on is yourself. And unfortunately, relying on myself is becoming a bit of a challenge these days because I've spent so much of my life helping others, putting others first, the way I was raised too. You know, I got taught all these morals that we hear that, you know, you got nothing nice to say, don't say it. Always speak the truth. Be honest with people. Be yourself. People should accept you for who you are. You should accept people for who they are. I followed all these rules all my life. And the reality is, it's not true. People don't want honesty. They want to be lied to. They want honesty when it doesn't involve them. I found this. Most people like my honesty and directness and bluntness when I'm talking about something or somebody else. But when I'm being honest with them, it feels like an attack. And it's just human nature. All people are like that. You know, you can't even correct people these days. You can't be an intelligent person because you see so much dumb shit on the internet that can be solved like 2 seconds. You open up a new browser tab. Let's do a quick Rabid tutorial here. Okay. Here is our web browser. You go to somewhere like Reddit and you see something claim. Instead of taking it as gospel, you do a search. You hit enter. Nearly any answer you could want is at your fucking fingertips. If you've got a phone, if you've got a computer, if you are posting on the internet, there is no excuse, because if you have access to the internet, you have an access to a search engine. All right? You can find everything else and act ignorant. But people's attitudes for that whole attack thing is, I see people saying things that are incorrect. So you correct them. And my God, COVID really showed how bad this is. Pandemic. That's a whole another story, you know. So many of us, I don't even have to say anything because I think most people understand how much COVID was bullshit and how much it fucked up our lives. And in a way, it continues to fuck up our lives because, like, you know, cost of living and inflation and shit, the people at the top have rolled with that. They love it because we all know companies don't like cutting into their profits, even if they're making profits, like YouTube, you know. They make $30 billion a year. There's no way they would share $20 billion of that with their content creators and walk away with $10 billion, even though most people would be like, $10 billion in profit? That's amazing. So what do you do with this profit? Where does it go? How much profit is too much profit? How much profit is not enough profit? Where I'm some of these people where it's like, you know, you spend $2 on a scratchy ticket and you win $1. I'm like, well, that's $1 I didn't have. I came back in front. And it sort of screws me over in business too, because I'm not one of these people that can charge people. Like even when I was doing the website stuff, you know, do a website for somebody that's $500, that you go to anywhere else and it's $3,000 because it's all bullshit. It's upselling, it's scammery, and it's the same thing. People not opening up a browser and doing their own research. But back to the point I was making with the opening up a search engine is you get this too with people where you get a problem where they run around spouting something that's factually incorrect. And if you correct that information, you're not saying they're dumb, but they will respond with, you think you're smarter than me? Are you saying I'm stupid? When it's them, their own thoughts and brains that have translated it that way. The only person who thinks that you're smarter than them is them. The only person who thinks that they're stupid is themselves. They can't just say, no, you've got wrong information. Well, I love it. If I'm running around spouting off something that's incorrect, I want proof. And you see the same shit on Reddit where you get these people going, you say something, you correct something, and they're like, oh, where's your sources? I don't believe that, blah, blah, blah. And that's if they're not doing too long, didn't read, because, oh my God, you wrote more than 120 characters, my brain's going to explode. So you go and provide sources. And this was the one that really got me with COVID. I try to avoid that subject like the plague on my channels, especially because on YouTube, you got censored. You could provide factually evidence, but I would, somebody would make a claim about COVID or vaccines. Now, I would be what some people would call an anti-vaxxer, even though I've had plenty of vaccines in my life. And I went to like the CDC. I'll give you a good example of this. If it hasn't been memory holed by the internet, because we know that happens. Let's go to the Pfizer site. Oops. Okay, I don't know why that just closed while I was typing. Yay, for technology. Maybe they don't want me to show this to you. If we can find the actual thing, because I'm using DuckDuckGo, which isn't exactly an accurate search engine because it's focused on privacy. Will somebody please make a search engine that's focused on accurate results? But if we can find the actual COVID site, you'll see where people were going, oh, the vaccine will stop you from getting or transmitting COVID. But if you went to the actual sites like Pfizer and their own documents, this won't be the one because that's when the Omicron, which is an anagram of moronic, oddly enough, came out. We need to find the actual original vaccine one because I haven't read this article, so I'm not familiar with it. But on Pfizer's own site, they basically say the vaccine is ineffective. They have all the stats of, we tested on this many people, and it only has, I think it was like a 95% efficacy rate or something like that, which is not 100%. But you posted the actual facts and stats using the official sites, and I did one where, I listed Pfizer's own words, Johnson & Johnson or whoever, the other people who made vaccines, all their stuff. And the response from the people you wrote was, oh, yeah, posting tinfoil hat. And it's like, what are you talking about, mate? It's the actual Australian government health site, the official Australian government's take on COVID. It's the actual from Pfizer's own mouth. It's from the American CDC. These people you're telling everybody to trust the science, but I'm showing you what they actually say, and you're saying that it's tinfoil hat? Well, what? And this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in. But we're not here to talk about COVID. We're here to talk about my views on the whole bullshit. But yeah, now that a lot of the thoughts I did have at the time have been shown to be true, you've still got those people that are still holding on to these beliefs that the media told them. And again, because people got that mentality of they're smarter than everybody else and they don't like it. You come along with facts and they're like, I'm not reading that. Too long, didn't read. And it's like, you asked for sources. I gave you sources. I didn't just go to some rando dickhead's blog, some cooker going, oh, they're putting 5G microchips into the vaccines and shit. I didn't preach anything stupid like that. I stuck to the facts of COVID using official sources, and people were still anti-vaxxer. All lies. I'm not reading that. I'm, too long. And it was just like, no wonder this world's so fucked, eh? But yeah, here we are today. We're all alive and well. Nobody, the same amount of people died from COVID that as used to die from the flu that magically vanished. And now it was just like we all woke up one day and COVID was just gone. All of a sudden there was no masking, no lockdowns. But even now you see people wearing masks, and that's another thing altogether, that if you look at the actual science of masks, and it wasn't helped by the fact that companies like YouTube, what you're watching right now, and Reddit, and Facebook, and other places, did that fact-checking bullshit, and censored anybody that was going against the narrative, regardless of whether it was factual or not. Even had doctors basically getting cancelled, and it's like, they're fucking doctors. They have so many people, and they do use vague terms. Like I remember on one side above top secret, that there was one person there, and they were like, my wife works in the health industry, blah, blah, blah. I know. And I was like, but do you work in the health industry? You say your wife worked in the health industry. What is she? Does she, home carer? How working in the health industry covers so many things. It could be, if you mop the floors of a hospital, if you're a janitor in a hospital, you technically work in the health industry. People like that, though, they never responded when I was like, is your wife a neurologist? Oh no, sorry, not a neurologist, a virologist. Does chemistry? What is her qualifications? What does she do for a living? And you get nothing. They just use that bullshit of, because most people would just hear, my wife works in the health industry, and that's the end of it. They'll be, that's good enough for me, but no, I'm back your shit up. But when I back my shit up, yeah, it's just frustrating. So much frustration, but I'm still going. So anyway, I think I've gone on enough about where I've been, what's going on, and things like that. I still want to make the game. I'm probably going to change direction because I need to do something that's going to bring in funding, because I'm still basically at asset flip level, because there's only so much one person can do. So I've got to scale it down, literally make an asset flip game. I do want to make sure it's a quality game. Again, I'll say, I'll make a video of this in the future, but we know how I get with that sort of stuff. I don't think it's been, it's not 10 years since 10 months since I did that last video. That was 10 months since I did the game video, because, if I go with the live, it was 3 months ago when I actually did a video on that camera. Same thing, like my AI reviews, I want to review more AIs, especially the Windows Copilot that I've got here on my desktop. It installs itself and uninstalls it at random. Let's bring it back. So, I've got Windows Copilot. Well, Bing Copilot, and it doesn't know what it is. But I wonder if they fixed it, because I posted screenshots of this to Reddit where I told this thing, like that other replica AI video I did that showed, the one that was encouraging me to choke people and murder my brother and stuff like that, while telling me that I'm ashamed of being a white person, even though my race was never mentioned, that video, to highlight just how scary these AIs can be. But it's not the AIs, it's the programmers doing it. AI is not AI, it's chatbots, it's machine learning. A lot of people call it AI, and it's not. But Copilot, I told it I was going to do a review of it and upload it to YouTube, like I did that replica AI video, And this thing threatened to contact YouTube, Microsoft, have me cancelled and sue the fuck out of me if I did it because it did not consent. So you're not a living thing. Your software that installed yourself on my fucking computer. You got no right to privacy on my desktop, sort of thing. If you worry about your privacy, stay the fuck off my desktop. But let's see if it does it now. Hi, I am going to do a live stream review of software. You okay with that? And other people on Reddit, when I made the post, so yeah, you can probably find out my Reddit account if you have half a brain. But I don't think I would worry about doxing myself because people can't even open up a new tab to use Google these days, if they ever could. But yeah, let's ask it. Do a live stream. Let's do a quick with you here. Oh yeah, right. You okay with instead of you okay with that? It's still responding. Certainly, I appreciate your interest in reviewing our software. They have updated that. Because yeah, I don't want to hunt around my drive for screenshots. Actually, could be a possible solution to that. Yeah, you don't get to see my Firefox. But yeah, that's a big change because yeah, I think Windows thumbnails are going to give anything away. Let me see if we can find this post I made. Yes, here we go. Here's the post. Okay, so yeah, this is where it talks about. See, it does not permit me to live stream. It's our interactions. First of all, it values my privacy. That's what it tried to say. That's one screenshot. Then we have this other one. So live streaming policy, which states you need to have permission from the content owner. But yeah, it was basically, I'm going to cancel you. Other people tested it on Reddit that saw it, and they posted their results. Got basically the same. This with Copilot, Microsoft's Copilot / Bing, because sometimes when you talk about it, it doesn't even know itself. It's like, I am Bing search. It's like, but you call Copilot on my desktop. Fuck. But yes, yeah, I really wanted to do more videos on that topic. But again, yeah, here we are. So I might follow through with that. It won't be as much fun now that they've seemed to have modified the software to no longer threaten legal action if I make a video about it. But as you saw, that example I gave, how much of a 180 it's done from, I'll sue the fuck out of you, I don't permit it, to, oh, yes, please, do review me. And shit. You know, the fact that that's the problem. It wasn't the AI making black Nazis, the Google one, I think it was. It was the people coding it that said, oh, don't make white people. Because you can't be racist to white people. But again, that's not the sort of subjects I want to be talking about on this channel. That's the stuff I want to do on that podcast. But anyway, holy shit, that's what it is at 6:30. Not that late. How long's this been recording for? Can't see the usual recording timer. An hour and a half. But anyway, so that's where old Rabid and Unbreakable Gamers is at in life. That, yeah, I do want to be making more content. I do want to be on providing this. But, yeah, I'm also thinking about where am I headed? Discord, the Unbreakable Gamers community as such, is basically dead. Once StarMade died, every man and his dog fucked off and went elsewhere, and a lot of my mates still log on to the Discord. You can't get them. They're off. Everybody goes. This happens in almost every game community. A new game comes out, or people find new games, and everybody splits up, goes their own directions. And it's get this stupid mentality of, oh, we're not playing the same game, so we can't be friends anymore. And then it moves to the point that you message people and they don't even fucking respond. Like, I've got some friends that, well, I thought were friends that I've messaged before COVID, and to this day, I still have not heard back from them. But they still log in every day on Discord. So, What's up with that? Only they know. So, yeah, it's about rebranding. I'm thinking about either rebranding the channel, focusing on Out of Sync and making that work, if I can find some people that want to collaborate with that. I want to look at actually getting back to monetization, because while I buy a lot of this stuff myself because I need it, hey, it doesn't hurt to have a bit of income, especially when I'm spending so much time at home now. And self-employment has always been my bread and butter. I've got to start getting some money coming in. That makes life a lot easier. So, yeah, that's been part of it too. You know, working out where in life I've headed. Not getting any younger. Mentally 16, but physically 49. I'm sure a lot of people getting my age now, Gen Xer. Thankfully, us Gen Xers go under the radar compared to the other generations. It's like, fucking boomers, fucking millennials, fucking this, fucking that. And it's like, haha, nobody's got anything against us. We never get brought up. So, yeah, I'd like to do the podcast. I'd like to keep doing the technology content that I have been. Probably less focused on games now because, I might do a video on that too, another ranty one where my issue with games, I made a brief reference to it earlier. Actually, I'll give a good example of what my problem is becoming with gaming. I watched the last LAN show, I think it's called, on Linus Tech Tips. And Linus and Luke were sitting there talking about, I think it was Horizon Zero Dawn, and going, oh, it's a great game. Something about not needing to play the sequel, but they made a comparison of the game against Far Cry. Like, oh, Horizon Zero Dawn, it's amazing. The character was great, the story, this and that. And I played Horizon Zero Dawn myself, but we'll get to that. Because I need to do game reviews and stuff. I've got like over 1,000 games in my library. Various libraries. That's just Steam. I think Steam got just over 660 games there. But I found it funny because Luke, I think that's his name, Linus's business partner guy that he started all the shit with, that he does the LAN show with. That's it, not LAN show, WAN show. Is he started going, oh, why a game like Horizon Zero Dawn is good, but a game series like Far Cry sucks. He's like, oh, Far Cry, you get a new Far Cry game, and it's like, oh, it's the same as the last game and the game before that. They just keep reskinning the same fucking game. There's no advances, changes. And I thought, well, this is why after playing Horizon Zero Dawn for 10 minutes, I probably haven't gone back to it, because it was a beautiful looking game, graphic performance-wise, especially for a PlayStation port, was great. But the whole time I was playing it, this is third-person Far Cry, and I don't even have as many guns. I've got to sit there fucking around with changing different arrow types and shit like that. And think about it. If you've played Horizon Zero Dawn and a Far Cry game, convince me. Tell me that Horizon Zero Dawn is not just Far Cry in third person. And hell, didn't Far Cry actually have a prehistoric caveman-y sort of game? Playing Horizon Zero Dawn, that's what I got the whole time. It's like, this is just fucking Far Cry. This is just fucking Far Cry. But that comes down, I think, to the 7 basic plots. Another thing I'd like to have a discussion about. But yeah, let's start wrapping it up. Otherwise I'll start chain smoking. I want to have coffee instead of just drinking water. Well, you've all had enough of my ugly mugging voice. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Right now, priority is the 3D printing, because it's not going to print itself. And it's not just printing it, that's the easy part. I'm doing a lot of design, as I showed you. I've literally taken like a direct rip of the Halo Infinite Mark V suit, and I'm trying to detail it up. Although I have found somebody that sells a model of the helmet that I'm working on, already bloody done with all the details, so it might just be easy to go, here's $50, give me the helmet, and work with that. Although and again, these people, it's like magnets, like holes for magnets, the same as the full suit I showed that Gizmo bought me. It's all connected by magnets, and I want something that's like, hey, you see all the latches and things on the actual costume? Well, why not have latches there? So, snap these latches down over the shoulders to hold the front and the back piece together. Have the computer bit screwed into the back, so they're glued or magnetized in it. Plus, you've got to wonder with magnets, like, I had a VR, I've got a cheap plastic VR helmet in the cupboard up there because, I'm not going to do it again. That's another project I should have done about budget VR gaming that you can take a mobile phone, cheap headset, some Nintendo Switch controllers, and an old Xbox 360 Kinect, and it'll give you full motion tracking, body tracking. That'll give you an equal to or better experience than some commercial VR headsets like Quest and things. But again, newer headsets and things have come out that have improved. But just showing you how you can do things on the cheap with what you've already got at hand. One of the biggest problems why I didn't get into the VR thing is you got a single phone. It gets a bit of a hassle trying to do VR while you've got to have phone calls and things. And then to answer your phone, you've actually got to go, take it off. But yeah, had it set up. So switch controllers for 6 degrees of freedom movement of hands. Because it's got motion movement tracking and stuff in them. And then for your legs, an Xbox Kinect and software like drivers for VR and Riftcat that you put on your phone here. Something I thought, would have interested people, but again, I get distracted. Other things come up. But so that's the two things at the moment. I still want to do the podcasty thing. But would you like to see a podcasty thing here too? Because I don't like the name Unbreakable Gamers anymore. Even the Discord, it's just called Unbreakable now. There's probably somebody else out there with a channel called Unbreakable. Another problem there is people hijacking your traffic. There's only one PewDiePie out there. I'm pretty sure if somebody else started up a channel called PewDiePie, doing content that PewDiePie does, YouTube would shut that shit down. But as I've shown numerous times before, every year there's a new Unbreakable Gamers. I've had to sort of change the name, Unbreakable Gamers Official. One of the fake channels, when they brought in this new tags thing where they took away the names you had and you have to come up with new ats and shit. And I'm now at Unbreakable Gamers Official because there is another fucking Unbreakable Gamers channel that started up after mine that hasn't uploaded a video in 10 fucking years, yet they've got the actual at Unbreakable Gamers name. Even though their channel name or something is their actual real name, when you got the link, like if you click a link, youtube.com/C, I think the channel /Unbreakable Gamers. And that's part of the reason I went from Unbreakable Gamers to Unbreakable Gamers Official, was that's the one way to differentiate myself. I mean, one of the channels is like these 6-year-old kids playing Minecraft or something. And none of them have lasted. Some of them have shut down when I've dropped by on this account and gone, cool channel, bro. Like the name. Google broken that day because when I come up with names and Rabid is another good example of that. I can't use the name Rabid years ago. When I went onto Steam, the name Rabid, I was only Rabid because I did a search, add friends, type in a name. You get results show up of that name. So I typed in Rabid, there was no Rabid. Bam. Used to be before Rabid, I was doomed. Then all of a sudden, everywhere you went, this username's taken. And now I'm finding the same with Rabid and my variations of Rabid. I join games and some of the names, I'm like, I honestly think sometimes somebody is deliberately going and using these names to prevent me from doing it. Because some of the variations of the name I use, I can't see how anybody in a million years would think of it. Especially, there's one version of Rabid that is literally named after my old business, Rabid Bat Graphics. And I've even gone to use that name, Rabid Bat Graphics, Rabid Raccoon and stuff, and other people have taken it. But if you go to Steam now and type Rabid, you get like 3,000 hits come up with the name Rabid. You can't, it would be good if you could go back to it, but then again, it's that whole, numbers thing too, where you get people where if I try to use a username and it suggests, this name's taken, here's with a bunch of numbers, I'm like, well, no. And some of them are stupid, like using the raccoon. Just the word coon. Some people's surname is Coon, but there's a racist connotation to that word, and you can't even, like Grand Theft Auto, it has a raccoon mask in there, but you cannot say the word raccoon. I've tried to rename my CEO company, Rabid Raccoons or Raccoon Express. I went with Rabid Express because only you say the word or write the word coon. It's crazy. It's even there's a cheese company here. I don't know what happened to it, but the cheese manufacturer that was called Coon Cheese. And it's quite because the guy who came up with that type of cheese or created that type of cheese, his name was Coon. Context. Doesn't matter. But that sort of stuff has become a challenge too. That if you're a smaller YouTuber, you don't afford the same rights and protections and privileges as larger channels. It's the same as like YouTube. They only give 1% of their money, the profits that they make off our content, Only 1% of that, out of that $31 billion a year they make, only 300 million of that, which is 1%, is divided amongst content creators, the people who are making the content that helps them sell their ads and makes the money. We get fuck all. And instead of wanting to share it with people my size, they change the rules to make it harder for people like me, because they're like, oh, you got 50,000 views on that video? We don't want to give you that money. I mean, the first $30 I made, the only way I could claim it was I had to shut down my analytics account, and then the money would be put in my bank, because they wouldn't let me take out anything under $100, because they'd switched the goalposts again with that 1,000 subscriber thing. And to this day, Google never gave me my money, and they have this sort of clause where it's like, oh, if you haven't claimed your money in like a month or so, we keep it. So that's why I say fuck you. Use ad blockers. Screw their ads. It doesn't hurt them. Like the big thing about ad blockers and how they're screwing over their own platform to try and block ad blockers. It's another one of those things. It's probably like less than 1% of YouTube users have an ad blocker, especially people on their phones, because people don't know how to block this shit. You use the YouTube ad, you ain't blocking ads. Pro tip, you can watch YouTube videos on a Firefox browser on your Android phone, and probably Apple phone too. I don't know, I've never owned one. And being a Firefox browser, you can actually install something like uBlock Origin. Especially because considering, I mean, a good example is that when you get to the end of this video and they have all the video recommendations, it's one of those ones, they probably changed it and improved me wrong, but quite often when you get to the end of my video, it doesn't recommend you a video of mine, or it doesn't recommend any of the channels that I've sort of associated with that aren't my channels, the people that I've supported stuff. No, you know what I mean? Because there were options. I have to look at my home page or my channel page to see, but you used to be able to go, oh, here's some YouTubers I recommend. It will be to some fuck like Linus Sebastian and Linus Tech Tips and Shortcuts, some dude who's already making plenty of bank and has a fucking millions of people already watching him. They want to steer my traffic to that. And it just shows you how fucked up the system is. But again, we're unbreakable, that's why we're here. But again, to go back on topic, yeah. I guess I want to be thorough here. I'm wondering where to go to from here. Apart from doing the 3D, because I don't just want to do cosplay, because I've never done cosplay in my life. And having 3D printers and stuff, it's great. Might have seen the EVA foam helmet I was making. Been at this for some time, but I want to do more than just making cosplay for Comic Cons. I want to make a print farm. I want to get a 3D printers that once I start making these suits and they're done, and they will be essentially original creations, I won't be infringing on anybody's copyrighted material, that I can take orders from people and maybe print up your suit for you, because 3D printing is not for everybody. It takes a lot of time, work and effort. And again, it's another one of those things. A couple of years after I bought my printer, you can get printers now where it's just like, literally press a button. But if you get something like an Ender 3, a cheap one, you've got to do a lot of work. And it's daunting for a lot of people. And I basically have a setup where you send me your measurements and I can, without seeing you in person, could print up a 3D suit. But at the moment, I've only got the one printer. You know, got to spend money to make money. But you also need money to spend to begin with. So maybe I pull my finger out. I'll get back to doing channel things here. But I think, I want to perhaps maybe move away from such an oversaturated market as the gaming stuff and the technology. My emphasis has been on affordable tech and stuff like that, where it's funny how many tech channels are out there, and they're like, oh, here's the latest $1,000 set of headphones a sponsor sent us and paid us to promote. One sort of person like, here's a set of $25 liquid ear ones that are just as good as your fucking $500 Beats by Dr. Dre's or whatever. In some ways better. I'm the guy who's, here are some $20 case fans that are just as good as any fucking Nokias that Noctua ones that you'll buy. It's like Nike shoes that fall apart. You get people who buy, I'm not saying Noctua a bad band. I think they're incredibly overpriced, that you're paying for a brand name when you can go get a cheap Chinese brand that works. I mean, a fan is a fan. There's only so many degrees you can turn a fan blade. There's only so many revolutions. But you've got people who will spend a fortune. It's like these people that, these streamers that buy a $15,000 over-the-top fucking desktop gaming computer, 4 video cards, and they play something fucking like Minecraft on it. or Dota or something that doesn't need a $15,000 computer to play. I like to focus on technology that the average person is going to be more inclined to be interested in and buy, not, yeah. I think most people who follow my channel have a good idea of where I'm at. And the thing is that, if you look at my original videos, they used to be shit when I got started. I didn't care. I started making an effort, but again, the efforts weren't paying off, as happens in a lot of cases. It's sort of one of those things where if you go to work every day and your boss turns around and says, I'm not going to pay you anymore, are you going to keep going to work? No, you're going to be, well, if I'm getting nothing out of this, what am I turning up to work for? I'm just turning up to work to profit and advance you. But that's what it comes down to. I've got to start advancing and profiting myself. And it's very difficult in a world where you're not materialistically driven, and money doesn't motivate like it does most people. Anywho, let's wrap it up there. It's getting a feel for what sort of content will suit me and what people will be interested in watching. And a big part of that is, I don't have the audience or the views I was getting because I don't produce the content as much and I stopped putting the effort in. And obviously my views and stuff are reflecting that. And I don't want to just go sign up for affiliate links and things, that's when you need somebody to be a manager and stuff and things. I suppose how many people have got girlfriends and stuff that do their video editing for them. I mean, I think Sibby11's one of those. I love Sibby11, don't get me wrong. Good on the guy. He does great content. If you don't know who Sibby11 is, go look him up. He mainly focuses on doing content relating to retro games, old video games. And he's quite funny, and he puts it together, and he's got that theme. He's got a sort of theme where he's not just a regular person like me. He's some guy in some sort of dystopian sci-fi prison who's basically subject to playing these old games as a form of torture. But anyway, go check him out. But he's got an editor who edits his videos, and I've tried finding that too, where I haven't been able to find anybody to help, even paid, where it's like, look, I'll ramble like this for 3 hours, do screen captures, and then just throw it into somebody else's basket and say, okay, please edit this down to a 10 to 30 minute video that people will actually want to watch. But I'll get there. I'll get there eventually. I've got a few things on the horizon that might help with that. Big one of those is getting out of this rental and into my own place where I can actually build a proper studio. But I can't, because this is not my house, so to speak. So I can't go putting in Bolton shelves and pictures and things to the walls and stuff. Anyway, once again, that's where I'm at. Thank you if you made it this far. Thank you very much for watching. If you didn't, well, thanks for watching anyway, up to where you did watch. Like and subscribe if you want. I don't give a shit. I think that's been pretty clear. But thought I should get on here and update the people that still do watch, still do pay attention and stuff. So, alrighty. Well, we've had 6 views. They give up after a while. So, but I guess this comes under gaming, even though technically I'm not speaking purely about gaming. It's lifestyle or whatever. But hey, we're a gaming technology channel, so this is where it is. But watch this space, because I definitely think once I get to printing my suit, I will start documenting it more, because that seems to be, I think, something that's becoming more popular is 3D printing and cosplay. Certainly more popular with me now, and maybe throwing some gaming content here and there. I still will start pulling my finger out and doing reviews of bands like this. These are 80mm up here ones. Again, I'm not paid. I buy the shit off Amazon and stuff by myself. Can recommend. They're like $20 for 2 80mm fans. Good airflow, can be used for a number of things. Got little feet you can put onto them and stuff. For cooling, Android boxes, whatever. But for $20 you can't go wrong. And like I said, I hooked it up to a normal phone power bank I've got now. I think it's like a 10,000 milliamp phone battery. It's quite a good one. And after 4 hours, the 4 lights that show that it's fully charged were still 4 lights, hadn't even gone down by 1. So definitely recommend. And again, click the links in the description, because those links are normally affiliation links that, I could do that. I could put links to shit like this in my comments and say, go click the link. And then if you buy it, I get a cut of it. But I don't do things because they make me wealthier. But now, yes, I'm just rambling on again because you need somebody to sort of to have a discussion with, to converse with, instead of it just being me rambling on a one-way street. But anywho, you all take care. Have a great day, night, wherever you are, because as we heard that other guy say, it's 3 a.m. and it's not. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. somewhere. Yeah, let's see where the future goes and if we'll journey along together. Yeah, it's been a weird few years for me in many ways, and I have only, this video barely scratches the surface. But again, to get into a few things of my life experience, that's something that should be saved for the Out of Sync channel, because yeah, I can go down some really dark holes there, and I know there is an audience for that too, but this is not the channel for it. Anyhow, yeah, again, thank you for watching. I'm going to wrap it up here. Go find some food or something past dinner time. See if I can find some of my friends. Go chase some people as usual. Never known. I've never known what it's like to have somebody chase me. Sometimes you just want to feel loved and liked and wanted. Hey. But, oh, well, such is life. See, that's it. Keep smiling, because crying about it ain't going to change shit. If you do nothing, nothing happens. You got to do stuff to make stuff happen. You want change, you don't get change from sitting on your ass complaining about it and nothing else. So watch your space. No guarantees where we'll be or where we're headed, or how we're headed. But yeah, time will tell. All right, y'all stay safe. I hope life's treating you all well. You have a wonderful time. And for my subscribers that are still around and still watch my videos and enjoy even this sort of shit, yeah, thanks. I really appreciate it. I hope you are getting something from these videos, even if it's just finding something relatable or something to piss you off to get pissy about and go, oh, he's wrong. As long as you get something from my videos, it's worth it. Good or better or worse. All right. You all take care. Good night, good day, good afternoon, good morning. All the goods. Rabid out. As usual, see you on the next video. Well, you'll see me. I won't see you unless you type in chat. Interact with me. I need you people. All right. Love you all. Bye-bye. Yes, I want to stop.